What's going on, guys? Today is project day. I'm gonna turn this little sled I have here, Canadian Tire sled, Pelican I think it's made by. Gonna turn it into a pulk. So I'm gonna make this little pulk here. I'm gonna do it as cheaply as possible. Most of the supplies I have here is from the dollar store. Some pipe here from the hardware store. I think it cost me $8 or something. Couple of 5-foot pieces of 1/2 inch. Nice and light, a little bit flexible, but not too bad. I have some horseshoe shaped wire clips, wire and rope clips. I have 2 of those. They cost me $1 each. I have some carabiners from the dollar store. These cost me $1.50 for those 2. And I think these were $1.25 each. And just some paracord. Well, paracord's pretty cheap as well. So I also have this old weightlifting belt that I picked up from Walmart many years ago. It's in pretty rough shape. It's a bit rusty and stuff on the buckle, but that'll be fine for what I need it for. So this will just connect with the carabiners there to the pipe, from the belt to the pipe, and the pipe to the sleigh. So I'll just take you guys along here and show you what I'm going to do. So these are the little wire and rope clips picked up at the dollar store, $1 each. Here I have one open. This I was going to try to use this part, but this obviously slides up too far, and you know, I won't be able to connect the carabiner like this, like I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and just use the nuts there. So I just have this little hand drill. I have my other drill left at my other house. So this is the idea, to get this down here, one on each side, and then you'll get your, that's where you'll connect. So anyway, I'm just going to widen out these holes whichever way I can. You know, it's not rocket science. But it would definitely be better if I had a drill with proper size drill bits. So what I'm going to do is put one nut on all the way. Put this down in. And then put a nut on the same one on the bottom. And what I'll do is I'll go back to the dollar store. I'll buy 2 more of these. I'll take the nuts and do this side as well. So now that I've got these attached, I have to feed some paracord through the pipe. Like so. One done. So guys, luckily this belt already has a couple loops right here. One here and one here. Perfectly where we need them, almost on our hips, not like in the middle of our back, because we want the pipe to come to our hips, cross, and then to our hips, you know, from here, like that. So that's almost perfect. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loop some paracord around here so you can quickly attach the carabiners, because this is a bit thick and it's kind of hard to get in behind there, so I'll just put a new loop on there. So I'll probably maybe look for a ring or something to go on here. I don't really like the paracord like that, so I'll try and find something else to go there, but for now I'll just leave the paracord, but definitely going to replace that with something else. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty simple project. I mean, there's 100 videos or more on YouTube how to do this, and they all are the basically the same idea, you know what I mean? The most recent one I watched was Marty up north, a YouTube buddy of mine from Alberta there. Actually, I'll put a link in the description or on the end screen for Marty's channel, and you could, or maybe even this video, and you can check it out. But he does an excellent job with his pulk as well. But they're all the same idea: a quick attach, you know, something to connect to on your sleigh, something rigid like these pipe, stop the sleigh from sliding into your feet, and something to connect to your body. Maybe you already have something on your pants or your belt. You don't need an extra belt, you know. But all this can come apart and go in the trunk of my car or whatever pretty quickly with the clips. So yeah, pretty simple project, and can't wait to get out and give it a try. So, made it a little further on the trail today. I have to get to the cabin today. That's why I brought the sleigh and the snowshoes, everything. Because I have to get there today. I want to check on the cabin before the other big storm comes tonight. But as long as I was on the skidoo trail, I was fine. If I went off, I got, you know, I dropped down 3 or 4 feet of snow. So right now I'm just trying to get the quad turned around. back on the skidoo trail. I'm going to leave it, walk to the cabin, and hopefully, you know, I got this far on the skidoo trail, so hopefully all the way out I won't get stuck again. But I'm going to leave the quad here once I get it turned around. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just spewing oil out of the Honda here. Something else I gotta deal with, I guess. Only when she's running though. Seems to be stopped there now. But when she's running, she's dripping out of there. Got some fur today. Little red down at the bait station there. I'll leave him here till I get back. Quad is staying there. And we're gonna load up. Get the poles. My belt for the poles. Get my snowshoes on. Snowshoes from Kirk, north of 51. Sent me a pair, the wife a pair, and the kids a pair each. 5 pairs he sent me a couple of years ago. I used them last night actually walking with Ground Search and Rescue after our meeting. We had a little hike. Yeah, we're going that way. What a beauty day. We made it. We made it. Look at the snow. Oh man. What a day. Whew. Loves my snowshoes, Kirk. Loves them. Yep. What the? What was that by? Someone lost something here. Not mine. Probably someone who was checking on the cabin for me. First things first, I'm gonna get a fire going, get the kettle on, then I'll go out and do some shoveling to make room for that 60+ centimeters coming tonight. Yep, they're pretty much buried. Fix them up a little bit. Kind of made a little trail with the snowshoes. Hopefully something to follow it in. Right there. Season's over in a couple weeks anyway, so, and I'm sure they'll just be buried again tonight and tomorrow after the big snowstorm we have coming. So pretty sure I'll just take them up soon. A couple more weeks of the season. No coyotes yet. So back from a little jaunt on snowshoes there, and you know, I can't go far. My ankle is just throbbing there. Eh? Went for a little snowshoe with the ground search and rescue last night after our meeting, and I was in some pain by the time I got back, and I'm in pain again now. But a few people have said bone spurs, maybe bone spurs in my foot, and I did do some research there, and it does seem like that could be a possibility, because I'm after spraining this ankle a couple of times, and it definitely could be a possibility. But I just gotta go to the doctor, I guess, and get it figured out. But I've been avoiding it, but every time it starts paining, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to the doctor. Then it might be a couple of days and it's not hurting, and I kind of put it off again, but I gotta get it done. I had x-rays on it a couple of years ago. It didn't show anything, but back then it was only hurting maybe, I don't know, it would bother me every 3 weeks or a month. Now it's like several times a day sometimes, depending on how much walking I'm doing or how much I'm standing. Gotta get it figured out. No cast iron cooking today. Just need to warm up a bit of goulash. So I'm just going to use that little pot. Throw some margarine in there just so it doesn't, so my goulash doesn't burn on. Mmm. Damn, that's good. That's so good. 13 Prevails cheesy goulash. I had it twice yesterday. Made it for supper. And then I ate it at supper. And then I ate it before I went to bed. Then I took a big container today to warm up. So it's the third time I had it. Still some left, I think. Unless the wife took some for lunch, I don't know. But anyway, big storm coming tonight and tomorrow. We were supposed to travel for hockey. All that's canceled. Practices, hockey practices, everything like that's canceled tomorrow. School's going to be canceled for sure. But it's upwards of 60 to 70 centimeters of snow. So I mean, we're talking 24 to 28 inches for my American friends there. And wind gusts like 140 kilometers. Sustained winds at 80 and 90 kilometers, but the gusts 120 to 140. I was listening to the radio on the way here this morning in my car on the way to get my quad. And the weatherman came on there. The weatherman for the local news here in Newfoundland. And he said this is the worst storm he's seen coming since he's moved to this province, which was 6 years ago. So it should be a dandy for sure. Not looking forward to it because there's too much snow now, so another couple feet on that. And I mean, in some places it's probably going to drift 8 or 10 feet high, you know what I mean? With all that wind. So guys, a lot of people been asking me about doing a video on seasoning pans, cast iron and stuff like that, but the truth is I don't really know what I'm doing. You know, I'm still pretty new at cast iron and stuff like that, but I just learned from YouTube. Cowboy Kent Rollins is probably the best channel for cast iron, I find. There is a bunch more, but I always watch his videos, his tutorials and stuff. Right now I've got my little 5 or 6 inch lodge. It's pretty rusty. It's hanging on the wall. I guess some snow got in there. Sometimes you get snow and that blowing in around some cracks and stuff. But I'm going to attempt to clean this one and get a coat of oil on there. And I figured I'd just show you guys what I'm going to do here. So I just got a little scrubber here with you know, the rough side. I'm going to probably use some salt. Coarse salt is better, but I only have table salt here. And you're probably going to want some paper towels. And of course some oil. Hot water. It'd be much better to do this at home where you have running water. You can use running hot water. Give her a good scrub. Dump that first little bit. So as you can see, still some rust on there. Right? So she's gonna need another go. You can throw a little bit of oil in there right now. Some salt. And give her another good scrub. See how the salt's turning dark? It's taking the rust. Dump that. Now you can see it looks pretty good. Not bad. Take a clean paper towel. You see still a little bit of black on there. So what I'll do, I'll give her one more go. Bit of oil. What do with the salt? Some salt. Of course, if I had running water, I could rinse my sponge clean, but I don't have running water, so. Okay, for me that's good enough. Little bit of dust on there still. But, I mean, look at it now compared to when it was rusty. A few minutes work, bit of elbow grease. Okay, for me that's good enough. Little bit of dust on there still. But, I mean, look at it now compared to when it was rusty. A few minutes work, bit of elbow grease. So I like to use a bandana because you want lint free, right? If you use a paper towel to do your seasoning, you're gonna have all little, you know, paper towel dust or anything like that. So bandana, clean bandana. Obviously, you're not gonna, you're not gonna use a bandana that you were wearing on your head, sweating and stuff. Like this bandana, I bought specifically for this. Get the whole pan. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Kind of take that oil in. Pan is nice and hot now. You don't want to do this with a cold pan, obviously. Pan's nice and hot. So I had it left on there maybe 10 minutes. You see the oil's kind of dried up a little bit, so I'm going to put another little coat in there and do the same. You don't need much. You kind of want it to. You kind of want to wipe it out like you didn't want it in there in the first place. Now you could do this as many times as you like, but I've had this pan seasoned already, so I know it was just a little bit of surface rust on there from getting wet. So make sure you do it all, turn it over. And you can kind of take the dry part of your rag or bandana. Try to get some of that off. So I'm just going to leave it here for a while now, face down like that. Then that should be perfectly fine in a few more minutes. That's it. So a couple of things you do want to avoid is filling it with water and boiling water in it. That's going to loosen all the oil, so you don't really want to do that. I hear it's okay to use some soap when you're cleaning it, but I prefer just to use hot water, and I'll pour some hot water in there. I won't boil it in there. I used to do that actually. I did that the first maybe year. I used to, if something stuck in there when I was cooking, I'd put water in there and boil it. But I've learned through watching videos and tutorials and stuff not to do that because it loosens the deep down oil. So what I do is I'll pour some hot water in there, and I'll use some salt, and I'll scrub it. It loosens up pretty good. And as long as you use lots of oil or butter or whatever when you're cooking, shouldn't have any issues. Bam! Still there. That's good. Someone came through on Skidoo since. Whew! What a day. Holy shit. Yep, that's my house right there. Like 20 feet away. Holy shit. Can't even see my neighbor's house. This is nuts.